Hey, Buddy Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report Practice Edition. An eventful practice off the court here. Both these teams not doing much on the floor. Celtics got out and got some shots up, stretching, moving around, getting some balls out there and doing some basketball stuff. Nothing too intense here for Boston. Warriors actually looked like they took the full day off, and they need it coming out of game 3, banged up. Steph Curry in particular, the story of the game after the Celtics win 116 to 100 in game 3. Curry leaves the game early, along with all the starters. They were down double digits at that point. That's how Steve Kerr described the substitutions there at the end after Draymond Green fouled out on a pileup where Curry ends up underneath Al Horford. Horford falls on his left leg and appeared to injure Curry's left ankle foot area. He'll play in Game 4, he said today, not offering up much details beyond that. And his status in this series with the weight he's carrying, shooting 48% from 3 on 12 attempts a game, an engine for all their pick and roll action. Not too much coming from Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole on the perimeter in this series so far. So the Warriors are without Curry, or with a limited Curry, they're going to run into even more problems against the Celtics defense, which continues to allow fewer than 100 points per 100 plays in the half court. A ridiculous number against a team that's shooting the way the Warriors are now, up to 40% from 3. That's a good number, but the Celtics have counteracted that by cutting off the interior. They're shooting 68% at the rim compared to the Warriors, who are 60% flat inside. Those numbers are a little wonky, actually, I saw, because of some tracking data that's off at the rim in Golden State's arena this season. So you got to factor that in, but overall it has looked like the Celtics have been the better team at getting to the basket here, attacking those mismatches and wearing down Curry and others. Curry exits this game after the scrum there on the floor, and Draymond Green's shoving Horford and Smart out of there to try to get them off Curry. But Curry, by that point, I already looked exhausted. Turned the ball over on 3 straight plays to start the fourth quarter. Complete contrast to the reigning stretch through the third quarter where Golden State dropped 7 threes, jumping around screens and burying long shots. And I talked to Daniel Tice today, as well as some other Celtics, about just how they're covering those plays by Curry and living with some of these threes. Tice told me that's the best shooter ever on the other side there. You can't lose sleep over him hitting some long ones. And Curry actually did hit one where Tice was in this drop, per se, that everyone's talking about right now, and his feet are on the three-point line. You can see on that play. Curry's in the right wing shooting from almost this inbounds line here on the right wing. So Celtics, talking to them today, they don't want their bigs caught up in those actions. You saw the one where Horford fouls Curry. It's a 7-point play. A 9-point game becomes a 2-point game at that point. And these sequences where the Warriors are starting to bury threes, it could cost the Celtics a game here or there, but overall it hasn't. And in the half court, they're holding the Warriors to under 100 points per 100 plays. That's a great number, and that's down to 93 in Game 3, even including that third quarter onslaught there. So the Celtics did make adjustments. They double-teamed a little more, rotated wings over to help on three-pointers. That helped to cut the Warriors off on 10 of their first 13 possessions there in the fourth. So adjustments were made, certainly, to the coverages. They weren't straight dropping anymore as they were in the third there. But that is the coverage that the Celtics want to play here. Talked to Steph Curry as well, who said the Celtics personnel doesn't bode well to blitzing the pick and roll, and they did it at one of the lowest rates, Kevin O'Connor pointed out on the mismatch this week, among any NBA teams. So they're not going to do things that are unnatural to them. They're living to some degree with the Warriors shooting, and a big part of it is producing in their own right. Tice told me they don't want the Warriors to get the easy runouts. They're okay with them hitting difficult threes, but the transition ones that are wide open on the three-point line, that's what they're trying to stop. And they did it through good offensive execution in Game 3 here. And Celtics actually have the higher shooting number, 43% from deep in this series, believe it or not, just because they're producing the better looks. They're instilling the style that they want in this game, and they're dominating the half court. Draymond Green talking to me, almost relenting on the offensive adjustments. They want to move some more. They want to get active off the ball, and not allow the Celtics to load up against the pick and roll there, or pressure the shooters dead on. But is that going to be possible if Curry's limited, hobbled here? Don't know. Either way, the Warriors want to turn defense into offense. That almost shows you how much they respect what the Celtics are doing in the half court defensively right now. They want their scoring to come in the transition opportunities, which is how they won game 2. Can't argue with that. So Celtics, by contrast, just have to take care of the ball in this series, and it feels like they have the defense to win if they do so, particularly if Curry's going to be limited. And he said he's good to go into game 4. Ice, sleep, the only treatment so far for him. In terms of his movement, not much of a comment on that or the extent of the injury he's dealing with right now. Just that he'll be out on the floor when these two teams meet again in Game 4, 9 o'clock Eastern, back here at TD Garden. We'll have coverage, of course, brought to you by HelloFresh, HelloFresh.com/playoff16. 16 free meals, 3 free gifts, all prepackaged, instructions laid out at your door, on ice, fresh ingredients, fresh meat. It's all in there. It's going to make your playoff run easier and more enjoyable as the Celtics reach up to 14 on their way to 16. That's HelloFresh.com/playoff16. 16 for the title, 16 free gifts, 16 free meals, 3 free gifts when you sign up for HelloFresh. It's all winning for them and the Celtics right now. This has been the practice edition of the Garden Report. I'm Bobby Manning here inside TD Garden for Celtics All Access, CLNS Media on YouTube, and CLNSmedia.com, where we did write about these Curry coverages. Go check that out, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.